Ha ha! This. I'm gonna read this out. Ha ha!
That's a mature way to start.
How sad can you get? I mean, get over it. Move on. You can call your country Loserville.
That is brilliant.
Hello, my name's Danny Wallace.
I'm 28 years old and I live in Bow, East London. Well, kind of. You see, a little over 6 months ago, I decided to start my very own country. Scouring the globe for the best place to set things up, I tried to buy a deserted island.
I assume you have excess $500,000, obviously.
Well, you know.
But that didn't work.
Invasion.
So I tried to invade somewhere.
Oh, hello. Someone's blatantly called the police.
But that didn't work either. But I did manage to secure an ally in the British Army.
I hope this means we're allies now. Someone take a picture, quick.
Set up a cyber nation and claim my one-bedroom flat in East London as an independent state.
I'm just leaving that for Tony.
I hadn't heard back from Tony Blair about my Declaration of Independence, so I could only assume that Britain had no problem with me starting my own country. But to be taken seriously, I needed more than just a flat in the East End. I needed citizens. But how many would it take to be considered a real country?
Smallest country in the world is the Vatican. The Vatican? That can't be true.
Slap bang in the middle of Rome, the Vatican City is an independent state with just 921 citizens. All I had to do was equal this, and I was sure I could be considered a proper country. So I headed for the motorway services. I'd always marvelled at how successful the AA and the RAC had been at getting new members. So I took their lead and tried to convince people to sign up.
Sorry? I'm starting my own country, and I'm just looking for some citizens. Oh, yeah? Just need some citizens. You don't want to join my country, do you? Huh? You don't want to join my country? Okay. Just looking for citizens. This really isn't going very well at all.
I went home to think it over.
You'd think I'd have got more people. I got none. It was like... But then I didn't really have anything to give them either. I realise now that maybe, like, I should have a flyer or a leaflet. My country needs you.
If I was going to catch up with the Pope, I knew I had to step my campaign up a notch. So I took to the streets of London, where I was confident I'd find lots of people keen on a fresh start.
I'm just starting my own country. Spread the word. Just to let you know, I'm starting my own country. Are you happy with Britain? Is it going well?
No.
No?
No.
So are you looking to relocate?
Yes, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you could help me shape a nation. Interested. He is definitely interested. I don't know if you know Bow. It's not far away, but my country's actually in...
Now that I had my flyers, people were more willing to talk to me.
There you are.
Even girls.
Yeah, I'm going to be a king.
Where's it going to be?
In my flat.
In your flat?
Yeah, so I mean, pop round. I'm starting my own country, and I'm just looking for a few citizens. I'm starting my own country. I'm going to be a king. I'm starting my own country, and I'm looking for a policeman. I got your handshake on that?
You have indeed.
What's your name?
My name's Bill.
By the end of the day, I'd managed to shift 250 flyers, and dozens of people promised to check out my cyber nation.
Thanks, Sue.
The next morning, I couldn't wait to see if anyone had got in touch.
Wicked. I've got 17 emails.
Unfortunately, they weren't quite what I had in mind.
Are you some kind of joker, or worse, some kind of idiot? No one can just start a country. What is the country called? Is this real? That's all I've written. Is this real? You know, I haven't got a name. That's basic stuff, isn't it? A flag. I haven't got a flag. Pretty basic. I need something that defines my country, even if it's just a cliche. You know, like like the Americans are fat, or the Japanese take pictures a lot, or the English are repressed, or the Scottish are a bit tight, the Germans, the beach towel nonsense, French, slightly arrogant. What have I got? What defines my country? You know, at the moment, you know, the people of my country are just a bit specky. And I'm not sure if that's enough to build a nation on.
One email had even suggested I seek professional help. So I did.
Hello.
Hi. Pentagram are a posh design company who specialise in making stuff look better than it actually is.
Hello, I'm Danny. Nice to meet you. How's it going?
Fine.
David Hillman and David Gibbs agreed to give my country a much-needed identity.
To get into your head about what your intentions are and whether they're honourable or not, why a country? Is it in reaction to other countries that you see around you? Have you got an idea about society which you want to promote? Relationships between people? How you handle foreign affairs, domestic... I mean, are these things all issues to you?
All of that, and a lot more. I've got some other buzzwords. Trusty, good, proud, lovely, polite, British-ish, big. Although my country will be quite small, I want it to feel grand, you know, be part of it, I think. You know, I think you'll probably agree, is kind of convincing people that it's more than it is at the moment, you know, so that we get a real sort of structure around it. Friendly, not wary, but can be quite strict when it comes down to it. I couldn't come up with a word for that, so I had to.
Oh, that's right.
Open. Anyone can come along, right? It's quite open. So, I mean, that gives you a kind of idea of...
Okay, can we resolve that into what you classically do when you're creating a brand? You start by defining the qualities and the values and the behaviour. And from that, you resolve what is an overall proposition.
Have you got a pen? Let me see how this looks. How about this?
Be good.
Be good.
Yeah?
So, not only is it, you know, my way of saying, come on everyone, just, you know, be good to each other, be nice. It's also me going, be good, all right, because I'm watching and I'm the king.
So, I mean, what we should agree is actually what we're going to give you. So it's going to be a name.
If you can come up with a name, that would be great.
A flag. A flag.
A flag, yes, a flag. A coat of arms might be something worth thinking about.
Good.
I've drawn a lion.
Yep.
He's got glasses. Okay.
Glasses are a strong element of this identity.
Yeah, I think so. So the specs, again, good for coat of arms. I've written here, shows power, yet sensitivity, a winning combination.
So this country is what Britain should be.
Yeah.
So that's a quite nice way of looking at it.
Yeah, I think...
If Britain hadn't screwed up along the way, this is what
This
it could
is
have
kind
been.
of the dream.
This is a good dream.
It was great news. Not only were David and David going to make my country look like a proper country, they were going to give me a free flag too.
Could you pop that on your window? Just
In the meantime, I'd have to make do with my trusty flyers.
If you go to the website, maybe you can sign up and we can all meet up and, you know, make some decisions.
Oi, can I come there, join up?
Yeah, do you want to be in my country?
Yeah.
Yeah? Spread the word, my friend.
Spread the word,
Yeah.
the gospel.
What's your name?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm the crazy man.
Are you really?
The man who stole the World Cup. Good old Danny, never mind.
See you later, crazy man.
Crazy Man seemed nice enough, but he did make me think.
My instinct is to go, right, everyone, in you get, come on, all of you, at once, you're all welcome. And Crazy Man, on the tube there, you know, I enjoyed meeting him. He was a nice guy. He wasn't proper crazy. He wasn't, you know, he wasn't dangerous. He was just a bit left of centre. And, you know, I would like that. I would like, you know, lots of left of centre people. But not proper crazy people. That's what he was kind of, that's what I got worried about. I don't want actual crazy men running around the flat. You know, that'd be crazy.
I needed advice. I tracked down a man who might be able to help.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Anthony Brown had done tons of research into how countries decide what their immigration policy should be.
I'm kind of saying, come along, become a citizen of mine. It'll be marvellous, and then we can work out what we're going to do, really. So my policy at the moment is kind of like all are welcome, which is, I think, quite a nice way of going about things. Is that going to raise any problems?
Not necessarily. I mean, a lot of countries do have an awful lot of immigrants. I mean, some in Kuwait, for example, about 75% of the population are immigrants. In Australia, it's about 24% of the population. In Britain, it's about 10% of the population. And certainly in early days, when you have new countries, people tend to want immigration to build up the population. They want people to build hospitals and build schools and build roads, and you're just doing the same thing.
But the thing is, I don't know much about these people.
When you're setting up an immigration policy, there's basically two basic things you need to consider. One is how many and who. And that is the basis of all immigration policies, actually filtering out the people you do want from the people you don't want. I mean, most of the immigration policies like Australia and Canada and what we have in Britain now, they have a sort of point system whereby if you have a certain level of education, for example, you get more points, or if you have certain skills that are in short supply, you get more points. And so it's to fill the sort of skills gaps.
So they could fit in with my plans. Let's say I did want to, extend my flat slightly. I'd give extra points to someone who had a sledgehammer. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Always good at,
I mean, in America, for example, in the 19th century, which was the golden age of immigration in America, they were largely unskilled Europeans and all with practical skills. But actually, that's what they wanted. They wanted people who could use their hands and build houses and all this, and it was actually perfect for America.
From what Anthony was saying, it sounded like my country should have some sort of immigration policy.
King Danny.
When the first Americans needed new citizens to help build their country, they sent out the promise of a nice life full of opportunity. People flocked from all over the world, but the government, like me, wanted to make sure only the right people got in. Arriving in New York, potential citizens were greeted by the Statue of Liberty. There she is, symbol of a nation. I should probably get one done of me, like that, to inspire and unite the people. Probably not in green, though. And probably a bit less ladylike as well. I went to the immigration centre on Ellis Island, where a man named Barry said he'd show me how it all worked.
As you know, Ellis Island was the preeminent immigrant control station in the New World. And the New World needed lots of new people to immigrate and to populate the American West. But as time went on, there were so many immigrants that the government decided that they wanted to be more careful about receiving people, so they opened Ellis Island. And this was in 1892. Immigrants came in two lines, women and children in one line, and men in the second line. And they would be watched by matrons and doctors and inspectors to see how intelligent they were and how they were walking.
Really? Even how they were walking would be studied?
That's right. This exhibit in our museum shows the mental testing of immigrants.
This is?
Yeah, these are original tests that were formulated for people that could not speak English. And so they were asked to put together puzzles. They were shown smiling faces, frowning faces, asked to describe what kind of expression is that. Anything to show that you had ordinary intelligence. Yeah. That's all they were looking for. Actually, very few were found to be really stupid enough to deport.
Right.
A lot of immigrants come for special reasons. Some immigrants, in this case of this English woman, she came to look for a husband in America.
Oh, really?
Yes.
She really set out?
Yes.
Right, okay.
And you can see she's quite pretty, actually. She was on a ship, an English ship with about 1,000 picture brides.
Really?
And that was
these ones down here as well?
Yeah, this was a Greek ship.
I imagine a few of them are still unmarried. And the thing that I'm interested in as well is, immigration must be good for a nation. It can't just be about cheap labour.
Actually, cheap labour was important too. Just like today, we have lots of Mexican immigrants to come to the United States, for instance. And they're engaged as cheap laborers. And they're very valuable. Because with low wages and hard work being carried out, that meant that companies could become more prosperous, investors would make more money in their returns and their stocks, and the country's economy would improve. So there is value in that.
I mean, I can understand why you'd need all these kind of controls and why you'd need all this kind of,
Well, this only really comes after your initial nation has been populated by some initial people. So in the beginning, you have a very open policy. You have no control station. You let anybody in.
Well, that's kind of the stage I'm at now.
Yeah.
I'm kind of going, all are welcome.
Yeah.
I just need people. That's all I need.
Yeah.
If I was to stand any chance of catching up with the Vatican and having a population bigger than the smallest country in the world, I needed loads more people. So I couldn't afford to be too picky. I decided I'd let everyone join my country, just as long as they were nice.
Wow. I've got a lot. I've got how many? Look at this.
All these people. Oops. Well, whatever. I couldn't work the focus, so I'm afraid you just have to believe me when I tell you. I've got how many? 64 emails. All I needed to do now was formulate a simple citizenship test to make sure they were all nice.
Good morning.
How's it going? Nice to see you again. In the meantime, I went back to Pentagram to see how the designers were getting on with my country's identity.
Our proposition, a lovely place without anything to squabble about.
That's nice, isn't it? That's nice.
That's really what your country is all about. Now, here are some names that we've chosen which just get you thinking.
Yeah.
First name is alternation. That means the citizens would be alternatives, or alternatives. Yeah?
Nice.
Flatland, this is just derived from the original space, but it's quite nice because it's flat as clean sheet, you know.
Yeah,
no
yeah.
bumps and
Yeah.
nothing to bump into.
I like that, Flatland.
Now, your national symbol, which are the spectacles.
That's the national... You decided that's great.
Yes. That gives us Spexico.
Spexico. That is Spexcellent.
This one you might feel is a bit
my
janky
name.
for your country, but you could keep that for Christmas cards.
Keep that in the pocket, exactly, Spexico.
This was great, but naming your country is a big decision. I couldn't help but wonder whether my citizens might have any better ideas.
This is your motto. Die Dulci Ferraria.
Have a nice day.
What else do you want to say?
That's nice.
They'd done loads of stuff. They'd designed a coat of arms, stamps, even my own passport.
I'm very chuffed.
Good.
But what I was most looking forward to was their ideas for my new flag.
So the first idea was, as the country seemed to be a bit of an illusion, we thought we'd do an optical illusion.
Wow.
Your thing about Britishness, and I was going to take in an element from the flag, and I kind of like the idea of the cross, but it could be kind of off-centre. It doesn't have to be a kind of straight down the middle.
Sure.
And on that we thought, okay, well, maybe we would actually do one which is even more kind of off-kilter, just using the two colours.
Wow.
And then we had this idea, and it was partly to do with this flag, of actually the square, and I thought, actually, why don't we take the flag, the Union Jack, and digitise it? You put it on a computer, and you pixelate it, and you blow it up until it actually just comes a mass of coloured squares.
Right.
Right? So which is what we've done, and this is our proposal.
This is our
solution. So this is a pixelated Union Jack, and then we've taken a section from it. So you actually have this kind of off-centre flag.
I was overwhelmed. It was all coming together. I was starting to feel like a proper country. Pentagram suggested I go home and take it all in.
I like this one. And I know it's what Pentagram were going for. And I can see the reasons for it, and I can see what it all means. But I think I just find it quite hard to draw, if I was telling people. Whereas this one, I know they weren't as keen on this, but I'm starting to really like it. And I wonder whether, as a leader, I should be led, or I should lead.
With my mind made up, it was time to get back to building my population.
And start the country.
I'd devised a thorough citizenship test.
Excuse me, are you quite nice?
Which I was confident would help me weed out any undesirables.
Are you quite nice? No. Okay. On you go then. Sorry, are you quite nice?
I'm sorry.
You're not nice. Do you want to be a citizen? Can I ask you to take the citizenship test? Have either of you ever tried to overthrow a king or monarch of any kind?
Not as far as I can remember. I've thought of it, but I've never actually done it.
You're in.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
I'm afraid on this occasion your application has not been successful.
By the end of the day, I'd boosted my population to an impressive 109 citizens.
You're in the country. Well done, mate. You're in. Brilliant, well done. Excellent work, Pat.
At this rate, it wouldn't be long before I'd caught up with the Vatican and have enough people to be considered a real country.
Congratulations. Excellent work. Welcome to the country.
But I started to wonder whether a simple handshake in a shopping centre was enough of a welcome. I wanted to see how other countries did it. In Britain, over 100,000 people apply for citizenship every year. And if they're accepted, the government invites them to formal citizenship ceremonies held up and down the country.
We welcome you all on behalf of the Queen, Government, Parliament and people of the United Kingdom and of course of Brent Borough Council to British citizenship. So first we have Mohammed Shahzad, Subramaniam Suresh Kumar, Ilya Bezani.
After the ceremony, I grabbed a quick word with Brent's citizenship registrar, Mark Rimmer.
I was expecting something a lot more formal and slightly frightening.
Yeah, I think in some areas I think it probably is, but I mean ours is obviously something that's a bit warm and friendly and loving, really.
Yeah. Loving, that's nice.
Loving's a nice word, isn't it?
Well, a nice way to be welcomed into the country as well. Be loved.
Exactly.
Clearly, in my country, there's going to be benefits aplenty.
I'm sure.
You can tell,
I can tell.
Just
I can tell it's going to be a fun place to be.
It's going to be cracking.
Yeah.
But what about Britain? I mean, why are people so attracted to Britain?
I think generally worldwide it's perceived to be a country that has got an element of freedom. It's people can exercise their rights of free speech, and I think it's generally perceived to be a very fair and just country. And I think once people have got a British passport, it's a lot easier for them to travel. I think those of us who are born and bred here tend to, you know, we don't actually treasure that right and the freedom that we have to travel the world, but we certainly see in our new citizens that they do really value it.
It looks like this is a good thing for me to emulate.
I think it's a great thing for you to do in your new country.
Yeah?
Yeah, welcoming your new citizens so they've got full allegiance and pledge allegiance to you, obviously, as it's your country.
No, definitely.
Pledging allegiance was a good idea. I needed citizens to feel united and proud of our new country.
Thank you.
And by the end of the ceremony, I knew exactly what I needed. A national anthem.
Catchy is what I'm looking for. Melodic, inspiring, uplifting.
I contacted a couple of mates who I knew had their own guitars. For 3 beers, some peanuts and a knighthood, Chris and Wag agreed to help me out.
A musical vehicle through which I can bestow some of my wisdom and get people excited. That's what I'm looking for. Play a few chords and I'll tell you which chord best sums up my country.
What's wrong with that?
It's a bit sad.
Okay. What about,
No. Too quizzical. Yeah. No. See, that's kind of got... What's that one called?
I don't know, actually.
You made that up?
Sure. Yeah.
Well, that's good, because that's kind of... We're starting a whole new thing. But I need something a bit faster. That was kind of... Something that says excitement, danger, wisdom, but, you know, kind of inspiring.
So it's kind of campfire sing-along almost?
Yes.
What are you thinking in terms of lyrics, Dan?
One of the things I want to get across is the fact that every citizen is an ambassador for the country. In the same way that when you're at school, you're an ambassador for the school, and even after home time, you had to keep your tie straight because you're an ambassador for the school. Every citizen's an ambassador for the country. So if we can get something in about that...
Ambassador. What rhymes with ambassador?
Mombassadors. Ramadama. Dambassadors.
It's not... Dambassadors?
Huh?
Dambassadors?
Dambassadors. Well, no, that's still rubbish.
I don't think we're going to find a rhyme for this, I've got to say.
We worked through the night, and the next day...
People gather round completely.
I had my national anthem.
Sweetly, all across the nation, join the recitation with me.
If I could get it played on the radio, I was sure it would give my citizenship a huge boost.
Yeah, really good.
You've inspired a nation.
Fantastic. Right.
Oh, I'm a little bit dizzy.
I could spread the word and inspire people through song at the same time.
Try and get rid of that sort of nasal...
I think that's his voice.
My local radio station agreed.
LBC 97.3.
I was invited to take part in a live phone-in with Ian Lee.
You're here because you're starting, or you've started your own country?
Both. I'm in the early stages, so I've started it, but I'm still starting it.
But what? Actually properly starting a country?
Yes, properly starting my own country. I just thought it'd be nice. Why not?
What's your role? Are you the king, or are you the president? Are you the head honcho?
I'm all of those and more. I'm commander-in-chief, I'm supreme monarch. I'm going for king,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it called?
You know, these are details that we can iron out, you know, as the project progresses. The name, I do have to come up with a name. I recognise the importance of a name for any country.
Yeah.
But if any of your listeners, if they were starting a country or they want to get involved in a country on the ground floor, if they could come up with a name...
Danny, do you want to put your headphones on and take a couple of calls?
OK.
We got Billy in Chiswick. Billy, any suggestions for a name for a country?
You could call it Chelsea.
That's gone, Billy. Think these things through.
Let's go to Rebecca in Feltham. Hello, Rebecca.
Hello.
Rebecca, you're through to Danny.
Hello, I think it's the best idea I've heard in a long time.
So you're going to join up?
100%. I'm not going to join, I want to help you. I want to be part of this.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, phones have gone mental. Let's go to Gareth in Basildon. Hello, Gareth.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
I'm very well. What do you reckon to Danny's idea?
I think it's absolutely wonderful.
Let's go to Kenny in Guildford. Kenny.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
Danny, I want to be a part of it.
Already?
Well, I've had enough of this one.
Controversial words indeed.
Now we're getting there.
What's wrong with this one, Kenny?
What's wrong with it? What's right with it? The government's bent everything.
Danny, is your government bent?
I haven't got one yet, but when I do, it will be straight as a die.
We wouldn't have any crime in the country, would we, Danny?
Well, at the moment, crime's at 0%.
Exactly.
Employment's at 100%, and because it's in my flat, my country is the only fully double-glazed country in the world. The show was a success. My citizenship grew to nearly 600, not quite up to Vatican standards, but not far off. There was now just one thing left to do.
Well, listen, shall we have a listen to your national anthem?
Would you mind?
Well, no, I wouldn't. Here's your national anthem, Danny.
Yesterday was dark and dingy. My temperament was rather whingy. Things had got me wondering why I lived in London anyway. My days were grey. Now I welcome all and sundry. Everyone can join my country. Listen if you're near them, maybe you can hear them say, you've got to teach the world to sing. Danny Wallace is the king, for justice and politeness are the laws that he will bring. Where the order of the crown is to frown upon the frown. We done a constitution and we even wrote it down. Although the nation may be small, it's the nicest of them all. A land of opportunity where crime's against the law. Every subject to your part with your hand upon your heart. A kingdom come democracy to start. Just the same. It doesn't matter who you name. Anyone can be a dame or sir or lord, but not king. People gather round completely. Listen as I tell you sweetly. All across our nation, join the recitation with me.
If you'd like to become a citizen of my new country, visit me at citizensrequired.com. Or, if you're a digital viewer, press red now, where I'll be taking your calls live on Citizen TV.